calm before the storm. Walk over here and inspect my repair work. So this is a tough stretch of fence to maintain, and it's primarily because there's a lot of blow dirt right along the fence line. That comes from farming. Farming loosens up all the soil over there, and when the prevailing winds blow, they pile up here. Hope the wind noise isn't too bad. That's where I just repaired this. But anyway, maybe you can see that there's quite a steep step up here, and that's all blow dirt. And it's hard to get a post, either wooden or steel, to anchor correctly. And so this fence line along here is a pain. But it's just what you have to deal with. And in particular, the neighbor that farms that behaves kind of like an asshole most of the time. What are you doing, girl? You looking for a fence to crawl? You're okay. And he actually kind of got away with bullying my dad a little bit from time to time. My dad let him get away with it. A little bit different with me. He got all exercised, frothing at the mouth, yelling and screaming at me one day, and it had to do with fencing. And he made the mistake of grabbing me, and he's kind of a wiry little fuck, but he didn't have any idea what he was doing, so he was immediately on the ground with my foot on his chest, and eventually settled down, and I let him up, and I haven't had any problems with him lately. The interesting thing about Nebraska fence law, though, is that the fence is the responsibility of both adjacent landowners equally, regardless of whether they're farmers or have livestock. If there's a fence there, and there needs to be if there's livestock on one side and farm ground on the other, the labor and the cost is shared by state law equally between the adjacent landowners. Of course, I do all the fencing myself, and sometimes that's just the way it is. It's not worth the hassle to drag the guy into court, and that's not the way I roll anyway. But it is kind of an arrow in my quiver if he ever gets frisky. So anyway, that's a long video and a lot of bullshit.